G'day everyone, welcome to another video by myself, Andrew DFT. And welcome to all those who are new to this channel. Hopefully this is a video that you'll enjoy and create some decent content from it. So of course this is my second video as a part of a collaboration with the fantastic duo Bill and Brittany from Punished Props. Because right in front of me I have their amazing piece all done from EVA foam, and now I have to go paint it up. Hopefully somewhat decent. So with this task, I've decided to paint it up a bit more ambitious than what I'm used to. A lot of the times I'm painting these up with more primary colors, reds, blues and stuff, to really give it that Destiny feel. But I want to make it look a bit more exotic, so I'm going to go with a turquoise color and hopefully try and make it somewhat decent, so that way they didn't spend all this time making this just for me to butcher the paint job. But if you're watching this now, obviously it turned out somewhat decent because I've obviously uploaded the video. So with that being said, let's jump into it. So of course we've got the base gun as it is now in its black state. What we're first going to do is mix up some black and white, which is what I like to use as a basic primary coat, as it allows me to go from lighter to dark as a final coat if I wish. But we're going to apply the light grey into all the areas that I want it, because obviously majority of this gun is going to be coated in the primary coat, which I'll talk about a bit later. I want the main core metal details to be a nice grey, which then of course we can add some nice finish to make it kind of stand out and highlight some of the sections. But to do that I wanted to make sure that it was applied into the areas that it was supposed to, so using some combinations of smaller paintbrushes and actually masking off areas to get it into those designated spots. Now I do know that I did want to cover quite a bit of it and break up the detail, because I knew that there would be some black, there would be some final color, and there would be the grays. So now that we've applied the basic light grays to the areas that we needed them to provide us with a contrast, we're going to go ahead with the very obvious and vibrant turquoise color, which I've picked, that you haven't seen yet, but when you do you'll be like, oh okay, that's a color. Once we apply that to 80% of this gun, hopefully it will create a very nice aesthetically pleasing design that looks very Destiny and unique, because that's the main thing. I want this to look unique, even if it does turn out rather bad. But it shouldn't, hopefully. Alright, so are you ready? The final unveiling of the color of choice, and it is... well, it's actually not that bad. It actually looks pretty good. Well, let's apply the coats. Now I know because I'm applying it to a black undercoat, it is going to take multiple layers to finally build it up, due to the fact that we're applying a very light color to a dark layer. So of course you can already see those streak marks coming through. Don't worry that the paintbrush marks won't actually appear in the final coat, but once I've added 2 additional layers, you can see there it comes out really strong and very nice, and actually contrasts rather well. But now what we're going to do is we're going to take it the next step and dirty this thing up, give it a bit of character. So the way to do that is mix up some browns. I start with browns and then work my way to darker colors, and water it up something wicked, and then go to work by just throwing it all over the prop, into the crevices and the nooks and crannies, and then going back with a really crappy old t-shirt. Fabric I always find works really well with this technique, and just smudge off as much as possible. But what it will do is it will leave the remnants of the grit and the grind in those spots that you want it to, which makes more sense. Then applying a black one, it does exactly the same technique and it looks pretty cool. Now what we're going to do is go ahead and actually apply some little decals. So I've just made some random lines here using some tape, masked it off, and then applied some black paint where necessary. Now to do the final highlights. Now what I'm going to do here is go with a white brush. I'd usually use silver, but because this is already a very light color and I want this to appear pretty damn cool on a camera, I'm going to go in with the whites, and I'm going to go and highlight all the sections that are kind of protruding and sticking out from the main design, parts that would kind of be scratched and whacked if it was to go through maybe 5 years worth of use in combat. So it kind of gives it a bit of history and character to it, but for the most part it looks pretty good, and well, actually I'd say it looks really good. Very happy with actually how that turned out. But now to take it an extra step, we're going to add a bit of mud. So I went into the back garden, mixed up some dirt and water, and then came back and applied some mud to some of the areas that you'd expect it to abrase against some dirt or some earth. And once that dries, it gives a nice little touch and brings in some brownish, muddy texture to it, just to give it a bit more of character, because we're all about that character. So yeah, a very simple paint process, but an effective one nonetheless. I'm very happy with how the paint job has turned out, and I'm very glad that the color choice I went with was a success in the end. A lot of you probably maybe don't actually enjoy the kind of color, but for me as an artist, I decided to step out, try something new, and I'm happy with how I controlled the final product. And I just want to say, before we go any further, thank you to Bill and Brittany from Punished Props for allowing me to be a part of this cool collaboration. It's been an absolute pleasure going along with you behind the scenes and working all this out, so that way we can both have some cool content here on YouTube. So yeah, thank you. But that pretty much does it. There's not much else to show. You've been staring at this gun being produced throughout this whole episode, so definitely check out Punished Props' video. I know that they've probably done a fantastic and even better paint job in trying to touch up and finish the one I created out of styrofoam. If you didn't see the video for that, then you can of course check it out via the thumbnail at the end, and you can also check out their video at the end as well. And with that being said, of course, if you haven't seen the Punished Props channel, please jump over there, smash that subscription button, give them as much love as possible to build the communities even larger. But on that note, thank you very much for stopping by and taking time out of your day to watch this video. And until the next one, catch you later.